Hi there, welcome to the 4 to 5. Eric Chilton here, Chad Silver, Sydney Moore. We've got a lot coming up in the next hour.
Yes, and the weekend looked very nice. I really enjoyed my weekend. I was telling Chad I was at the pool on Saturday and Sunday.
Both days, I hear you.
Both days.
And my skin could only handle it on Saturday. I got a nice little sunburn right here,
Oh.
so I stayed out of the sun.
I was in the shade the whole time.
Oh.
Until I got in the pool as well.
So that was
too,
me.
but-
So I did the pool on Saturday, stayed under the umbrella thing, and because I can't, I burn so easily.
Yeah.
Here's a phrase that I've never used before, but it is hotter than blazes out there.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Is that how you correctly
That
use
is, I think so. You need a better accent, but yes, hot as blazes out
E
there.
for
I'll work
effort.
on that.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
That's right. Okay, we'll talk about the forecast coming up.
All right.
All right, new at 4, we are getting our first look at the mold cleanup underway at an Alamance-Burlington elementary school. Workers have spent several days cleaning mold from Andrews Elementary.
That's right. You'll remember just a couple of weeks ago, the district discovered mold in the building. They say it was caused by a broken HVAC system. The cleanup and repairs to the air unit is expected to cost the district over $700,000. The district is pushing to get everything back to normal by Friday when teachers return.
Meantime, the school board is meeting Wednesday to discuss mold at Newland Elementary. The board is expected to approve a contract to clean the school. They're also working on a plan to temporarily relocate students if the work isn't done by the first day of school, which is 2 weeks from today. We're getting a better understanding of a rash of fights at Dudley High School's Jamboree last Friday night. Police say they confiscated 2 guns from the school parking lot after fights broke out at the annual scrimmage.
Hundreds of people were at Dudley during the incident. The school hosted 4 other football teams for the Jamboree. WFMY News 2's Amber Lake is live outside Dudley after speaking to a school resource officer about safety. Amber.
Greensboro police said they responded to the high school after receiving 911 calls about 6 students involved in a fight. Now, whenever officers got here, the athletics director came up to them and told them that 2 people near the parking lot were carrying guns. Officers noticed that the 2 suspects, who were teens, quickly bent down beside a car. They were detained, the area was searched, and 2 guns were found underneath the car. The teens were identified and their parents were contacted. They were charged accordingly by petition and released to their parents. The Gopher County School Resource Officer Supervisor says safety is top of mind at every sporting event, and they do what they can to keep the large crowds of people safe.
I do know that our number one priority is the safety of our students and faculty. If you're, as far as like sporting events, we accomplish that by having the SRO with additional officers at the events to respond if anything were to happen.
Now, during this investigation, other fights amongst teens were taking place, which prompted more officers to be called out here to disperse the large groups. Live in Greensboro, Amber Lake, WFMY News 2.
Amber, thank you. Switching gears here, 2 Triad school districts are already back in the classroom. Today was the first day for Mount Airy City Schools. The district shared these photos as they welcomed students back. Last week, Surrey County schools had their first day. Both districts started their new school year ahead of the state mandated start date of the Monday closest to August 26th. Neither districts are likely to face consequences since there's no written policy or procedure to address violating state calendar laws.
Guilford County Schools celebrated its new international teachers today. The district is welcoming more than 40 educators from other countries.
I just want to be able to do well by, my students, the county, and just represent my country. That's my goal. So I just want to be able to do that and do it very well.
Now, these jobs are temporary, basically just for this school year. GCS says the international teachers will help with exchange students and fill vacancies in the classroom. Meantime, the district is hosting an on-the-spot hiring fair tomorrow from 9 to noon at Smith High School. It's looking to hire for all types of roles like teacher assistants, custodians, and bus drivers.
In Winston-Salem, the Winston-Salem-Forsyth County School District held a celebration for over 200 new teachers to the district. Officials say this is the largest group of new teachers in district history. Some are already ready for classes to start.
I want to see those faces. That's what I want to see. I want to see their faces. I want to see their possibilities, because every child is possible. Like, that's it. And that's what I told my kids last year. You're an amazingly possible human being. Like, you have capabilities. And that's what I want to see. I want to see the beginning phases so that we can guide those faces and those minds to blossom into those wonderful humans at the end. That's my goal. That's what I want to see. See, I'm getting all excited.
The new educators will have orientation over the next 2 days at Parkland High School. And don't miss this, our Tools for School supply drive is underway. It's our way of making sure Guilford County teachers and students have the necessary tools for school. From now through September 11th, we are collecting supplies at local Walmarts. All you have to do is drop off your new school supplies in collection boxes as you exit the Walmart. And we also have a list of locations with donation boxes on our website.
Yeah, a couple of storms moving by today and some shower activity, most of it north and west, and you can tell that by looking at our temperatures. Greensboro 88, Winston-Salem 87, but look at Burlington 94, Asheboro 92, Lexington 94, and then Wilkesboro with a reading of 77 degrees, and that is because of the rain that they've had there. Anybody could get this tonight, but they are isolated, widespread, kind of scattered, right? Not a big event. 74 for the low tonight. That'll be very mild. We see the storms in the evening hours, and hopefully by the time we get into the late hours tonight, we'll be done with that. Tomorrow, kind of a repeat, but a little cooler. 88 degrees, partly sunny. Showers and storms possible. We do see, thank goodness, for Tuesday, Wednesday, and into Thursday, the temperatures look a lot better than where they've been over the last few days. And the most recent area of rain that's now moving out of Moxville area, really in Davie County, is now crossing the line. So Arcadia, Lexington, and even down towards Salisbury, they're going to see that. Could see some lightning within that and some winds. Most of it just kind of light thunderstorm activity or just heavier rain. So keep an eye out for that. We are watching. The entire front is way back to the west in parts of Tennessee, but that will clear us eventually tomorrow. We have to keep those rain chances in for your Tuesday. It's a 40% chance and that high of 88. Lower humidity and beautiful weather. This is the payoff for the hot weather we've seen. Wednesday, Thursday, beautiful 2 days. Friday, 88. We build back to the low 90s by the end of the weekend, but rain chances are down for the rest of the forecast period.
All right, Eric, thank you. Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. A group of missing divers off the North Carolina coast are back on the mainland. The U.S. Coast Guard announced they were found this morning miles from where they went missing. The group disappeared over the weekend while diving about 50 miles south of Cape Fear. The Coast Guard was called to search for them after they didn't resurface. Today, the divers were reunited with their family.
Employees at Klossner Furniture are suing their former employer after the company abruptly shut down. Workers say the company owes them pay and benefits. The lawsuit claims Klossner failed to provide proper notice.
The Greensboro Urban Ministry is expanding its food pantry hours. The nonprofit organization received a $50,000 grant from Duke Energy so it can provide more access to food. The pantry isn't just for the homeless or unemployed. Greensboro Urban Ministry says it's for anyone who needs help making ends meet. We'll be right back.
You know, I think this is one of the coolest events of the year. The Men Can Cook competition. It's coming up this Saturday. Now, this event lets everyday home chefs go against one another, all in the name of charity. I spoke with Aaron Craver from the SECU Family House about the event. Aaron, thanks for being with us today. This is so cool. I remember this going back several years. What's the history on Men Can Cook?
So in 2016, we were looking for a special event that would really help bring in some donation dollars to our family house, because we're a 45-bedroom hospitality house serving adult patients 18 years and up. And really, we believe that the heart of our home is the kitchen. And so we thought, what a great way to get people involved in the community by having an event that focuses around food, which is served out of the heart of the kitchen. And so we said, would it even be greater if we found a bunch of men in the community that were willing to come up and really become our chefs for this event? And so we started in 2016, and we're going strong still in 2023.
So for people that, haven't been, what is this experience like? How does it play out?
So we have 17 chef teams, which is comprised of 33 male in our community. And so what each of them do is they use their own personal networks to gain tips pre the event, to really support them in their cause for the family house. And then the night of the event, people can then choose to tip their friend who may be a chef, or tip based on the taste and presentation of what they prepared for everybody to be there. So we have 17 different kinds of taste of meals, anywhere from shrimp and grits to a hot dog lasagna and everything in between.
It's funny because I envision, like, if I were to be there, I'd be panicked that I wouldn't have this recipe right and finished on time. Has that ever happened?
The chef team that are doing the hot dog lasagna, so we talked about that, they actually did a tasting of their place of employment over at Wake Forest University to be able to master and tweak what was necessary to perfect before Men Who Cook this Saturday.
Aaron, thanks for taking time out today. It always sounds like so much fun. So back when I was on the Good Morning Show, they used to come in, especially in the very beginning, and they'd bring two of the guys that are contestants. I think now there's like 8 or so, maybe more. And they would bring in and cook for us, and then we'd get to taste test it. It was really cool. So it's a fun kind of thing. Everybody has that one thing, like I know Ed Matthews has his chili that everybody talks about, that people like. And so they're encouraging just leaders in the community to get in this and try their hand at being the best.
What's something you enjoy cooking, like number one thing?
My number one most requested for me to cook at home is it's a chicken marsala with mushrooms.
I love mushrooms.
I like marsala anything.
Chad?
This
is all about the guys.
Nobody ever requests I make them anything, so I'm always making for myself.
You have to make it first and let someone taste it.
It's really not sad.
Okay.
But I mean, there are certain things that I like to make, but I would love to be able to kind of just get some lessons on how to expand my cooking abilities.
That hot dog lasagna was something.
I don't know what that is.
Try that out, maybe? I don't know.
I gotta find out who did that. Maybe we'll bring some in. I know that's one of those like
every kid.
I'd be willing to try it.
Could be really good or really bad. We'll have to check on that. All right, we'll be right back.
Well, welcome back. You've seen penguins as the stars in movies and documentaries, but scientists are raising the alarm about the threats facing the flightless birds, including climate change and people's bad habits.
Yeah, one group is trying to make a difference, one penguin at a time.
This day is cause for celebration as 15 penguins waddle back into the wild off the coast of Argentina. Months ago, they entered a rehabilitation center in pretty bad shape. They were malnourished, dehydrated, hypothermic, and parasitic. Some were even exposed to oil and had eaten plastic, says Sergio Rodriguez, a biologist at the center. Veterinarians took the penguins under their wing, cleaning and feeding them while restoring them to health. But they swim off into an uncertain world. Climate change threatens to destroy their habitat, while overfishing risks starving the flightless birds. Scientists warn all of this could lead to their extinction. Because of all the known birds, penguins are the slowest to adapt and evolve. Centers like this can only do so much. All these afflictions are directly or indirectly caused by humans. We can try to save them here, but it's up to the global community to save the environment and the planet, he says. Coming together so the penguins can march on. Ian Lee, CBS News.
Well, we're watching the radar just to see who gets a thunderstorm here or there and who does not. It looks like right now moving in through Moxville and Davie County and headed toward Lexington. And you can see where some of the rain has been. I mean, Wilkesboro 81, Boone and Jefferson at 73 and 74. But then when you scoot down south and east, Asheboro at 91, Siler City 94 degrees. Burlington, you're also at 94. It's even 92 in High Point, 88 in Greensboro. We'll see these temperatures dropping down tonight into only the mid-70s. Now, eventually clear skies. We have a couple of showers obviously now that we're watching, but eventually we'll see clear skies for the overnight. The strongest thunderstorm activities at this hour is right here, and you can see that right along Highway 64 from Moxville to over to Lexington. That's moving to the east, so the Cotton Grove area will experience that next. Arcadia, you're in line too. If it holds together, that may go east into High Point and Randleman and Ramseur. We'll be watching that for you. Again, no real watches or warnings out there right now. They're just sort of pop-up thunderstorms, and we'll keep you posted on that. The front itself is way back to the west, and you can see it'll get here, but it takes it a day or so. So really that front will come through for our Tuesday, and that keeps rain chances up a little bit. 40% today, 40% Tuesday with a high of 88. Then it's beautiful, lower humidity Wednesday, Thursday. How about that? Mid 80s and partly cloudy. That's beautiful. Friday, 88, scattered clouds. Same story through the weekend, but we build to the low 90s by Sunday and Monday. But rain chances are almost out for Thursday through Monday.
A teenager is on a mission to catch them all. No, it's not Pokemon Go, it's fish. The teenager has snagged 53 different record-worthy fish species in Minnesota, and he's going for 36. Boyd Hupert has his story.
Oh, something big took it.
Like a lot of anglers,
I think it was a carp,
Carter Brown isn't exactly picky.
bass, or anything I can get.
This is the opposite.
Orange-spotted sunfish, one of the smallest of the sunfish species.
Caden Hootmacher will leave the big ones for everyone else at the Anoka Dam.
Super tiny.
While Caden,
Micro hook.
his dad,
They're from Japan.
and his older brother Chris
I don't know if you can see that, but that's the actual hook on them.
pursue a fish that would barely fill a fork.
Looks like I just seen one like way up here.
And why?
Got the muskie up here.
The answer's back home on the wall.
Bigmouth buffalo.
Where it is
Channel catfish.
and where it started.
He's probably 3, maybe 4, and it's a Cisco. There's largemouth bass. That's one of the ones when he got his first Master Angler Award for that.
It was about here that Chad Hootmacher
Hybrid
asked his young son
sunfish.
what fish he wanted to catch next.
And I said, let's just get them all. Let's go get every one of them.
11 years later and thousands in gas and night crawlers, this is where we're at.
Brown bullheads,
63 species of Minnesota fish
black bullhead,
are eligible for official state size records.
a yellow perch.
Caden has caught 54 of them,
So he's got 9 left, and he'll have caught every one with a recognized record.
including one
Plaque from the Minnesota DNR.
for which Caden actually holds the state record.
Yes, sir.
Minnesota's largest ever short-nosed gar.
Shovel-nosed sturgeon.
Caden catches the fish
White sucker,
that his dad documents,
dogfish.
then paints on molds for display.
Quillback.
The pursuit of perfection
We've literally covered everywhere in the state.
has taken the Hootmachers
The Lake of the Woods area,
from border
up and down the coast.
to border.
Spend a lot of time down here on the Minnesota River. All the low-hanging fruit has been picked. We're on to the hard stuff now.
Hard, but not impossible.
Dude, it's an eel.
It's an eel, dude.
Last fall on the St. Croix River,
Sentimental moment right here.
Caden caught an American eel.
That was probably one of my favorite ones, not gonna lie. It's very rare, yeah. It took us like 6-7 years. I'm so happy right now.
54 species caught,
So cool.
9 left.
See you later.
I don't know if he'll be able to finish it in my lifetime, because some are just that hard to catch and that rare. But hopefully he can finish it in his.
There's one down there, looks like.
In the meantime, the Hootmachers assign themselves other fun challenges.
Yeah, I see one tucked under this rock.
Like trying to catch all 6 of Minnesota's sunfish species
There we go.
in a single day.
No way. Got one now?
That's the little orange-spotted sunfish that we were after.
For if there's one thing
We
Caden
got one.
has never needed to catch,
Green sunfish.
it's the fishing bug.
It's been the best part of my life.
Boyd Hupert, Carol 11 News,
I love it.
Anoka.
I love seeing people passionate about something, and it's so cool watching he and his dad describe all of the different species, especially on the wall as well too. And you made a comment. Look at him; he knows them all. Yeah,
I mean, he just walks by, and that I love the way they displayed it. It looked like an aquarium.
Did.
with all that. That's really cool.
And what a cool thing for like a father and a son
Oh,
to
yeah.
do. I would say that type of relationship with a parent is rare, at least just in my opinion. But so cool to be able to have this bucket list of trying to get all of these fish. I said 36. I meant 63 going into the story. But I mean, to just be 9 shy of that, it's just a really great story.
I mean, that's. I mean, you have to say some of that's luck. You just go where you think hope
Right.
they'll be, and he's doing great.
Who knew there were eel in the upper Midwest?
That's what I was about to say.
yeah,
yes.
I know. And the picture of him when he was a little boy, oh my gosh, holding the fish, just adorable.
He got
So
started
cute.
that way.
Yeah.
Very cute. All right, we'll be back. We're taking a break. Going fishing. We'll be right back.
You want me on the outside? Or is this Chad's spot? Mic check, mic check, mic
When
check.
Tanya comes, she's usually on the outside.
Mic check, mic check, mic check.
went like that.
I know, it
Flew
did
by.
go pretty fast. I looked up, I'm like, 4:26. What in the world?
Rock and roll here. Welcome back to the 45. Sydney, Eric, Chad, and Amanda right here.
And
Yes.
we're glad to be here. We're glad to be inside because it's hotter than blazes outside.
There you go again. Bring it back.
I like that.
Can you say it with the appropriate accent?
I think you have to throw a man in there somewhere. It's a man, it's hotter than 40 blazes. That's the accent. You got to turn that accent.
I like
pretty
that.
good.
Thank you for that.
Well, you know, lots of practice.
Yeah.
And we got to talk about football today. The Panthers, they are back on the field practicing after their loss over the weekend to the New York Jets. The Panthers lost their first preseason game 27-0. The Jets outplayed the Panthers in nearly every statistical category except penalties. Quarterback Bryce Young was only on the field for 3 series and threw the ball 6 times. The Panthers are now preparing for their game against the New York Giants Friday night. Amanda, what were your takeaways from that?
Zilch.
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 Yep.
Like your word choice there.
It was painful.
Look, it's only the preseason.
Right.
I mean, yeah, in Bryce Young's debut, you want to see him do well, but it's only the preseason, so let's take a deep breath. I mean, the offensive line was the problem
Well,
in the
that's
game.
what I was about to say.
That
It
was
wasn't
the
his
issue.
fault.
Yeah.
Yep.
Our Hannah Jeffries went, one of our reporters here, and she, was talking about how the folks around her that's all they were kind of talking about was Bryce Young, ready to see him. But she said the atmosphere was huge. A lot of fans showed up, for this preseason game.
But he handled it well. I mean, he got hit a couple of times, but he didn't, he was okay. And Frank Reich asked him, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." So he's handling it in the calm, cool, collected way that Bryce Young has come about.
I heard someone said, I don't know if it was Coach Reich or someone else said, well, that was a welcome to the NFL hit.
Yes.
Are you okay? He's like, I just focus on the next play.
But that's the big thing. You got to protect that guy. You
Yes, you
invested
do.
all that in him. You got to protect him.
Yeah, yeah.
But the Panthers also, really quick, they also didn't have 2 of their outside linebackers and their top 2 guys that are going to start. So, they're pass rushers.
Take that into account.
Well, the O-line was
Yeah.
owning it because in press conferences they were saying, that was us. Like, we know whose responsibility that is.
Well, Amanda, thank you. So since we are the official home of the Carolina Panthers, we will be airing the Panthers' second preseason game on Friday. The coverage on WFMY News 2 starts at 7 p.m., so there will be some programming changes. Both Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy will air at a later time, and then once we learn, we will be sure to let you know.
At the high school level, the name Teague has been synonymous with Reidsville High School football for decades. Jimmy Teague led the Rams to a 339-58 record, along with 8 state championships over his 26 years. Teague retired in the offseason, but the Teague name will continue. Jimmy's son Eric is replacing him this year. He spent the past 11 seasons as offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. It's his first head coaching job, and he says he's ready.
Yeah, so my goal has always been to be a head coach, and I, always hoped that it would be here and I could kind of continue that tradition. It means a lot to me, and there's a lot of high expectations around here. So, my dad spent almost his whole career kind of continuing the success that Reidsville had before he came, and then just kind of building on that to where we are now. So it's a lot of pressure, but then it's also a lot of fun, a lot of kind of opportunity to continue that tradition that we've built on. Probably been too many things to really name. Anytime I have a question, he's the first person I call, first person I reach out to. Even down to the how many footballs do you normally order, or how many T-shirts do you normally order, things like that, all the way to the X's and O's side of things. So he's given me plenty of advice over the years, and I've learned from him since I've started learning what we do since I was in middle school. So it's been a very long kind of journey to this point. There's high expectations, and especially from the fans and our community, the expectations are winning games and state championships, but our goal as a coaching staff is to use football as a vehicle to propel them to more things outside of football that lead them in life. So that's kind of been the thing that we've been preaching to them, outside of winning football games. There's a lot more things that go with it other than that. When we actually get under the lights and kind of go through our normal game routine, it'll probably hit me when we run on the field.
Or he's got some big shoes to fill.
Big shoes. Dad won 8 state titles with Reidsville. So, but the thing is, he also said, Coach Teague said he's not going anywhere. He's not going to be coaching anymore, but he's going to be around. And especially when you got that guy just in your household, call him up.
Right.
I'm sure he'll get great advice.
In your pocket, so to speak. You can just
Yeah.
call him anytime. Well, and the people in Reidsville, they expect winning. He won 8, but there's many more championships they've won as a school over the years, and so it's one of the top football programs in the state, period.
And it's good that he's been with the team, so he understands the tradition, the vibe, and just how Reidsville handles themselves.
They always have good players year after
Always,
year, so he's going to have a heck of a lot of talent on that football field.
Yeah.
See how it goes. Good for him.
All right, well, Friday Football Fever, it is back this week. We have a poll up on our website right now so you can vote for the game of the week among 4 options. Right now, Western Alamance versus Reidsville is in the lead, followed by Grimsley and Mount Tabor. Voting closes Wednesday at 5 p.m.
Well, it's hot out there in parts of the state. It really depends on who's seen the rain and who hasn't, right? So you can bet that Raleigh hasn't seen any rain. 97 degrees. Meanwhile, down the road in Fayetteville, 77, a couple of showers there. 88 in the Triad, Charlotte's at 95. It is a hot day. Wind's trying to help out a little bit. You can see our winds, mostly coming out of the south, but that's kind of varied across the region, 10 to 15 miles per hour, but gusting up to 20 or 25. Lexington had a 26-mile-an-hour wind gust today. That's the strongest that we've seen in the immediate area. 74 will be the low tonight. Isolated storm, already seeing a little bit of that, and we could see that into the evening. Tomorrow, kind of a repeat performance with another 40% chance of late-day showers and storms, but cooler, significantly cooler for some of you. 88 is a lot better than those mid-90s we were seeing across the area. One more thunderstorm, and there's some in southern Randolph County too, just south of Asheboro, but this is the largest one right on Lexington right now. Thomasville, you're next in line in probably the next 20 minutes or less. Here's your 7-day forecast. Not a whole lot in the way of storms out there right now though, but 88 tomorrow, 40% chance of late-day rain. The front moves by, and then it's lower humidities, and absolutely beautiful for Wednesday and Thursday, mid-80s. That's below normal. We'll take it. Upper 80s Friday, Saturday, still no mention of rain, partly cloudy. Dry on Sunday and Monday too, and highs will go to the low 90s.
Eric, thank you. A grand jury in Georgia may decide this week whether to indict former President Donald Trump. It would be the Republican presidential candidate's 4th indictment this year. Christian Benavidez in Atlanta has the details.
Security is high around the Fulton County Courthouse in Atlanta, where witnesses began appearing before the grand jury on Monday. Georgia District Attorney Fani Willis and her team of prosecutors are investigating possible interference in the 2020 presidential election by former President Trump and his allies, including this call to Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger.
I just want to find 11,780 votes.
The GOP frontrunner remained defiant while campaigning in Iowa this weekend.
We did nothing wrong.
Sources tell CBS News Willis could pursue racketeering charges typically used against organized crime.
Georgia has a pretty broad or generous RICO law.
CBS News legal analyst Jessica Levinson says the DA will try to show that Trump and his team were acting like a criminal enterprise.
You essentially have to prove that 2 or more crimes were committed by 2 or more people, and that they were trying to protect or control an institution, property, or an interest.
The former president has been indicted 3 times this year. First in New York on charges related to hush money payments to Stormy Daniels, then federal charges stemming from classified documents seized from his Mar-a-Lago estate, and most recently federal charges related to his efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election and the January 6th attack on the Capitol.
All right, let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup now. First up today, loved ones of a North Carolina woman who died in Mexico are honoring her life through a nonprofit. SBR Helping Hands was formed in honor of Shanquilla Robinson and will address topics like bullying and empowerment. You'll remember last year when Robinson died while on vacation with friends in Mexico. The autopsy revealed Robinson died 15 minutes after suffering a broken neck and spinal cord injury. There's been a warrant out for one of the vacationers, but no one's been arrested.
And a new political party is officially in our state and could be offering a bipartisan ticket in the 2024 presidential election. The State Board of Elections will now recognize the No Labels Party. The group brands itself as a place for people who aren't happy with either of the 2 major parties. It's linked to a national no labels effort that has a lot of politicians backing it, including former North Carolina Governor Pat McCrory as the party's national co-chair.
Barbie is on track to become the highest grossing film of the year, bringing in $1 billion at the box office so far. It's trailing the Super Mario Brothers movie by about $48 million, but experts believe it'll gain the top spot soon. We'll be right back.
Hey there, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together like a classic combination. Dark delicious cookie meets an icy cold sensation. Summer in the North Carolina mountains kind of looks like this, right? You can almost feel that 20-degree difference from here to there, can you not? This is Catawba County. Now, fall in the mountains with our beautiful waterfalls kind of looks like this. This is Looking Glass Falls in the Pisgah National Forest. So both have their own beauty, but I'm hearing a lot of people really itching for the fall look and the cooler temperatures. Anyone else here?
It's always August because as a meteorologist, that's when people start hitting us up as when are we going to get cooler?
You know, I don't ever think to go and see waterfalls during the fall, but I'm going to have to change that because that's beautiful.
See, for me, I just get sad when it's fall because it means winter's around the corner and my favorite holiday, summer, is long gone.
Your favorite holiday, the whole summer season.
That is a holiday for Chad.
For sure. All right, well, school starting, of course, folks are asking, when is it going to look like this?
Yay.
In the mountains of North Carolina. And while you may say, it is too soon. Is it too soon to ask?
No, never too early. Fall in North Carolina is one of our biggest selling points, you know. A lot of people come here in the fall, especially when I lived in Florida, you know this.
Yes.
They would all want to come to North Carolina
Right,
in the fall.
to see the leaves change because they don't want to go too far north.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to be too cold.
Well, did you see what I posted on Facebook today? That the stores have their Christmas stuff out now.
I did see that.
It's mid-August. But anyway, so it kind of ties in with this.
It does a little bit. The Farmer's Almanac already has the predictions out for this year, so let's take a look. The fall leaves, dates, and destination are in the Farmer's Almanac website. From Alabama to Wyoming, you can look at the probable dates for fall peak weather. In North Carolina, according to their stats and data, you're looking at October the 12th through the 28th inland for the fall peak colors, and you're looking at October 19th through November the 4th on the coastal area. Obviously, not an exact science, but the probability.
And that's probably what they looked at, because we have an average every year, and it's usually in that September time frame to October is when we get peak color.
Do people often reach out to you wondering, when should I book my mountain cabin in the fall?
Well, what they'll do is a lot of folks like to just drive up and do the parkway and then come back same day.
Right.
And that's when they want to know, because a lot of people will hop on the parkway right past Mount Airy on 52 and you head north, and then that's the location everybody wants to
And
know
we
about.
really won't know that
No.
until we get much, much closer.
Yeah, we got to see what the
Okay.
weather's going to do
Yeah.
between now and then. Yeah.
Because if it rains a lot, maybe it's something that happens with that and all that kind of jazz, right?
What about you?
I love the fall
I do
in the
too. It's my
mountains,
favorite-
right? I
favorite
mean,
season.
to me, it's like a free God show, right? You know, all the things change colors in Florida. Nothing ever changed, as you know. Everything's green, which has its upside, but not to me in October. I want to see everything green in January when I can't see anything green here.
Yeah.
True.
So, you know,
Got
that's how
it.
that goes. All right, fall begins September the 23rd, more than just a month away. So maybe you're excited, maybe you're not. Maybe you're like Chad and you're like, oh my gosh, winter's coming.
No.
Which, by the way, I'm going to go over the line. Are you ready? I'm going to the snow forecast.
Oh, no.
Okay, let's look at the Farmer's Almanac. It looks like we're chilly and wet, but a
Okay.
lot of the country has stormy in the forecast, which I had not seen before. And really, snowy or flaky is only for like the Northeast and like the breadbasket. Like the rest of us, it didn't say snowy. It just said wet, which does not sound
That's
great.
not a cold,
Yeah.
wet, no.
Do you know what I would love is seeing how the Farmer's Almanac compares to what actually happened like the year, like after it's over.
Like, see how accurate they are.
I did an interview with the editor of the Farmer's Almanac when I was in Tampa, Florida, and of course, as a meteorologist, I was kind of pressing him a little bit, and he goes, "Look, it's a source of entertainment." That's what he said. He said, and we look at long-term cycles, not like what happened within the year. So they'll go on what the old farmers used to say, like, I remember the blizzard of blah, 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 you know, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And really, what happens during the year can really
Change
affect what's
everything.
going on. All right. So again, outlook, not promising for snow, but you know, it's an outlook. What happens, happens. And go ahead and take a look on there, folks. I'm not trying to rush your life, but if you want to get those leaf reservations, you probably need to do that shortly.
Very true.
All right. We'll be back.
The death toll from last week's deadly wildfires on the Hawaiian island of Maui climbed to 96 people over the weekend, and officials expect that number to rise significantly as search teams work their way through devastated areas in the coming days. Hundreds of people remain missing and thousands have been displaced after their homes were reduced to rubble and ash. But as the recovery begins, one of Maui's most famous longtime residents is offering support to those in hard-hit areas.
We find her at the entrance of the biggest evacuee shelter in Maui County, still home to 1,000 people 5 days after the fires, and where Oprah has been quietly visiting survivors. She wants us to hear some of the stories she's been hearing. And since cameras aren't allowed inside, we find a spot to talk just outside the fence.
If we were inside, what would we see?
You would see people lined up, cots right next to each other. You would see people with all of their worldly possessions in, like a small garbage bag.
She introduced us first to Kanani Adolfo, who despite losing some of her own family, has been a volunteer here from the very first night.
I'm just a volunteer. I'm a nobody. I'm just part of the public. This is my county. I'm born and raised here.
You're a big somebody, girl. Don't say that.
I'm never leaving.
What do the families need now most?
For me today, every day is different. I
Yeah.
truly, I'm
Every day is
talking
different.
to my heart. The mental health is, for me, the children, the kupuna, the families, everything they've seen, everything they've gone through. The mental health is for me today is my focus.
Maintaining strength in the face of so much loss.
She is one of many heroes and heroines,
Many.
of many. But this is who we are. She represents who we are in
Thank
this
you for
community.
your work.
Next, Oprah returned with two sisters, both feeling lucky to be alive.
6 hours in the water. We jumped to the ocean because we trapped.
They have 9 family members in all inside the shelter. And yet,
This is what I don't understand. Every time I've seen you and your family, your spirits are still so high. You all seem, you seem so okay, even on this now, the 5th day. What's happening?
Our life is the blessings. That's all we're thankful for.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so sad. No more memories. Everything we left. Only in the heart. It's all that we bring in.
You see entire families who've lost every single thing they have, and they're living on the air mattress and a cot and a chair, and they're still just grateful to have each other. So it's really, the Aloha spirit is about community and about family, and we've seen this here in ways that, most people never get to imagine what that really looks like.
And we say our prayers to all of those people there. Wish speedy recovery. It's heartbreaking at times. Let's look at the numbers right now. 86 in Greensboro, 90 in High Point. Look at Lexington's number, 78, a good bit cooler than all the reporting stations around it. And that's because they're seeing a thunderstorm. In fact, severe thunderstorm warning just issued for that. We'll show you that in a second. 74 for the low tonight. These isolated storms will be just that, isolated, scattered, not widespread. Tomorrow, a repeat performance, but much cooler. 88 degrees and partly sunny tomorrow. Here's what the radar looks like now. That storm that we've been talking about during the 4 to 5, it's kicked up a little bit here, and that is until 5 o'clock. That is a severe thunderstorm warning for Davidson County. Some of the wind speeds within that system could go as high as 60 miles per hour with gusts as that moves on to the east. So watch for that too into Randolph County in the next few minutes. The front itself is way back to the west, but that'll go through tomorrow and brings our rain chances to a 40%, a slightly cooler high of 88, and then lower humidities and mid 80s. Absolutely beautiful for Wednesday, Thursday. Even through your weekend, we're rain free and we build back to the low 90s.
Mike 123 321 123 321. From what I was told by parents and people who were here at the Jamboree, it was absolute chaos on Friday here at
Hello, here we are Monday afternoon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Hi there, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico.
Hi there, district leaders are creating a plan that may include that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3.
Hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm Nixon Norman, WFMY News 2.
Hey, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together like a classic combination. Okay. Yeah, no worries.
Test, 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 testing 1, 2, 3. Test, 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 testing 1, 2, 3.
It's time for my 2 cents. Parents, do you ever need a vacation from a vacation? There is nothing that zaps relaxation faster than a too tired toddler. So let's repack our bags. We're going back to the beach, but trying it backward this time with a viral mom hack. A Midwest-based content creator's video about backward beach days has 73,000 shares and counting. Kelsey Pomeroy explains she switched up her family's beach routine to accommodate her 2 young children. They do an easy activity in the morning and a restaurant for lunch, waiting until late afternoon to head to the beach for play and a simple picnic dinner. As the sun sets, the kids have a visual cue. It's time for baths and bed. The whole day, they've avoided peak crowds, peak sun, and peak meltdowns. I love this idea. Why? Because Pomeroy prioritized the precious afternoon hours many parents keep free and hold sacred for naps. Young children need rest. The National Sleep Foundation says by age 3, nearly all children are still napping. Those who aren't, like my oldest, still need some quiet time to recharge. The alternative often means overly exhausted children and overstimulated parents trying to cram as much as possible into Instagram's picture-perfect vision of vacation joy. Bottom line, no one has fun running on fumes. It's okay to prioritize sleep, even on vacation. For me, the backward beach day is a brilliant wake-up call. Sometimes a little R&R means reversing course for the kids. Oh, and mom loves a good nap too. That's just my 2 cents. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.
We are getting an up-close look at mold removal at an Alamance-Burlington school.
We also got an update on when the work will be finished at the 2 schools where mold was found, at Andrews Elementary and Newland Elementary in Burlington.
The workers have been deep cleaning the building and ductwork as part of the effort. District leaders say the work should be completed before the first day of school 2 weeks from today.